gonna look like a bit of a hypocrite possibly doing this video because I've done other work, including another video about the trailer for this project. But I want to talk about Pam and Tommy. Now, I've gotten to see the whole series. I've seen all 8 episodes. I was able to review the first 3 for comingsoon.net, which I will link to in the description below. I don't talk about any of this drama in the review. I just wanted to address it now because I am bothered. I am bothered by that this project is happening and Pamela Anderson, who was the victim in this situation, was not involved. Like, she was not consulted about it. They just kind of did it. They just kind of went ahead and did it without talking to her. And apparently she's very traumatized by it. She is not happy. She's very upset that this is going forward. And then, like, this show's getting all this praise. And then it's just, like, a lot of people are ignoring, like, the human side of it. Like, this actually happened to a person. Like, people are like, oh, yeah, Lily James looks just like Pamela Anderson. But, like, they refuse to, like, acknowledge how Pamela Anderson, the person, feels about all of this. And what really bothers me is this has happened before with a Craig Gillespie production. Now, Craig Gillespie is the director of this show, of course, or he's the creator. I don't know if he directed every episode. He's basically the one in charge of this show. So maybe he's the showrunner. I'm not sure. But anyway, he directed a movie, and yes, he was the director of this project. A few years ago, Tonya, which was about the Tonya Harding's husband and his accomplice bashing in Nancy Kerrigan's knee scandal. And they did contact a few people involved in that scandal for that project. They talked to Tonya Harding. They talked to Jeff DeLuly, who is the husband who arranged that whole incident. And then they didn't talk to Nancy Kerrigan. They didn't even approach her. And it was one thing if they would have done so and she would have said, no, I don't want to be involved. But they didn't even go up to her. It's just like it happened. They're forcing her to relive it. And that's it. And like, now, Craig Gillespie did make a statement about this at the time. I did look it up. He said, I knew it would be a hard journey for Tonya to take, but I knew it would be a hard journey for her to take, to have to bring all of this up again after 25 years. But I feel even worse for Nancy because this has nothing to do with her and it's all going to be coming up again. Tragically for her, it's like she's still known for this even though she won 2 medals at 2 different Olympics. I tried to minimize her involvement as much as possible in the film, not make it about that and not have to make it that headline again. Of the villain versus the princess, it's really Tonya's story. And I mean, like, that's all well and good that you tried to minimize it, or you claim to, because I distinctly remember, and I couldn't find this on YouTube, I would have included it here, there was this one scene in the movie where they have, it's a mockumentary, so they do interviews with, like, the characters who were, like, people in real life, obviously, so they have, like, Margot Robbie as Tonya Harding all done up for interviews, and, like, there's a part where they talk to her, and she's, like, just trashes Nancy Kerrigan's reaction to getting silver at that Olympics after she got her knee bashed in. And I'm like, that's not a necessary scene for this movie. Like, and I think that actually inspired a lot of the mindset a lot of people have towards the Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding thing now, which is not, I don't think the movie wanted this mindset, but this is what happened. Like, I think the movie wanted to be like, okay, Tonya was a victim as well. But now, like, a lot of people are acting like Tonya was a victim instead of Nancy, instead of in addition to her. And now, like, there's, like, a Nancy hate train, and it's horrible. Like, on any of Nancy's YouTube videos, it's like, she needs to forgive Tonya. She should have been grateful for her silver medal. I mean, like, I'm sure she is now, but, like, or whatever. But you know what I mean? It's just, like, it's unnecessary trashing. And it's, like, it brought the war back up even unintentionally between Nancy versus Tonya, even though it was supposed to be, like, hey, Tonya was a victim as well. And it just turned into hate on Nancy, who, again, was not involved in this project at all and was not even invited to. So that made me mad. That movie's existence bothers me, too, even though, like, it's a good movie as a movie. It just, its existence is, you know. And it's the same with Pam and Tommy. Pam and Tommy as a show is actually... it's very sympathetic towards Pam, and it's interesting that, like, the show is working so hard to be sympathetic towards Pam, yet they made it without her involvement and her directly being against it. Like, Nancy Kerrigan, she didn't want to see I, Tonya. She says she hasn't seen it, and she's like, well, like, that's in my past, I want to move forward now. She was very classy about it. She could have been upset, but, like, she wasn't very obvious about it. She didn't make a big deal about it in public. Pamela Anderson, I'm not sure if she has directly come out in public and said it, but apparently people close to her definitely are saying, like, she's distraught. She does not like this. And I can't speak on the whole show, but, like, I can't speak on specifics on the whole show, but, like, the show definitely paints her in a positive light It encourages everyone to be sympathetic towards her. It's just very ironic that she wasn't involved at all, and it just makes me very upset. Because I'm very sensitive about biopics in general. Like, they need to be... I think if you're going to make a biopic, you should make it as accurate as possible, because you're trying to... If you're making a biopic and you have a story, it's because it's a good story. You shouldn't need to change it up. You shouldn't need to make unnecessary alterations or, like, add things in or whatever, or change people totally. There's other movies, like, I feel like have done that, and I've just been really upset at them, so I'm very sensitive about that. Like, when it comes to the comic book stuff, because I do a lot of that, I mean, hello, look at my shirt, like, the CBM content, like, I don't care if it's accurate to the comics, but with biopics, yes, I do care if it's accurate to the source material, aka real life. So that's all I really have to say. I don't know, I'm just very bothered by this. I'm interested if there's a reaction from anyone who knows Pamela to the show as it comes out, and see what they think, because I think it's going to make people more sympathetic to her. I think a lot of conversations that are important will come out of this. It's just, I don't like that Craig Gillespie has now done this twice, and it's just bad. Like, if he's going to make biopics about people and, like, try and tell, like, different sides of the story, or, like, shed light on things that are important, or, like, try and start conversations, he should be including everybody involved in these conversations. Because, yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, so, I mean, the show is good, it just doesn't fully sit right with me, and that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching.